Grant, how's this transition to here been for you?
It's been a good transition so far. I mean, I really appreciated having the opportunity to get in here a semester earlier, mid-year, back in January. And I mean, all the guys have been welcoming. Coach Aranda and the staff have been great, even down to just everybody in the nutrition program, all the trainers, everything like that. So I really felt like the extra time just helped me bond with everybody on this team and within this program. And like I said, I really just appreciated being able to get here early in January.
You know, initially you center guard, whatever that's what they're doing right now. How comfortable were you? Was it kind of an adjustment for you, not knowing where you were on the depth chart or what position you were going to play?
Not really. I mean, I think more than just the average football fan may think, it's not just a set depth chart of having like, oh, the right guard goes down, the next right guard on paper goes in. I mean, this is my fifth year of college football, so I'm kind of used to um, having to be able to play multiple positions if needed. And I think especially with the type of season everybody had last year with COVID, I think a lot of offensive linemen got used to probably repping some other positions in practice. And even though I started every game last year at Vanderbilt at center, I certainly was playing other positions in practice, as well as in years prior over there I did have some starts at guard. So I'm really ready to play whatever it is, anywhere on the offensive line if needed.
Why did you decide to come to Baylor? Obviously, Vanderbilt, great football program, and what has it been like since you've been here since January?
Well, one of the main attractions I had to Baylor was that Coach Grimes and Coach Mateos was here. Just being able to talk to some of the other schools that I had some interest in the transfer portal and stuff, I really felt like this was the best fit for me. As an offensive lineman, I can't really complain about having two great offensive line coaches on my, in this staff. Obviously, Coach Grimes has a great resume. Obviously, Coach Mateos already has a great resume at the young age in his early 30s. So those were both main draws to me, as well as both of my parents and a lot of my family members came here to Baylor. So I always had that desire in high school and everything like that to always hopefully end up at Baylor one day, and it ended up working out in this situation. So I'm just really happy to be here.
Moving into a new conference, are there any schools that you're most looking forward to playing?
Not really. I wouldn't say that. I'm just really excited to put on the green and gold for the first game, against Texas State. Like I said, I've been a Baylor fan since I was young. I watched my cousins play Baylor football. I've seen film and everything of, my dad playing football here. So really just to be able to throw on that jersey for the first time in a game, against Texas State, in early September, that's really the one I'm most looking forward to. So I guess it'd be the next one in this case.
What was your family's reaction when they learned that you were going to transfer here?
They were really excited. I mean, they were happy about my decision to go to Vanderbilt. My parents, my mom is really big about academics and stuff, but I think there was always a small part of her that always wanted to see me go to her alma mater and everything like that. So everybody was pretty stoked. Everybody was pretty excited. They tried their best not to sway me over here. I'm not sure if that did or did not happen, but yeah, everybody was really excited and pumped to see me come out here to Baylor.
Grant, what have you seen with the quarterback competition going on simultaneously while you are trying to figure out various other things? But what's it like to have that competition also going on?
I mean, I think it's great. I mean, I have the opportunity to play, with or underneath center with a bunch of really talented quarterbacks, and I think what's kind of unique about my situation is I never really got to see any of these guys play before. I came in, from a different program, so I was coming in, seeing the first time all these quarterbacks coming out here and competing, and I was really just wowed by all the talent that all of them had. So it's been fun. It's been great to play with them and watch them compete day in and day out.
Grant, whether it was here or in the NFL, what was that like watching film of your dad playing? Knowing how good he was, that kind of thing.
It's always been fun to watch my dad. I mean, I think it adds an extra level of excitement to watch the game when somebody you know and care about is playing. I mean, there's definitely felt a little bit different for me as soon as he retired and all I had was fantasy football to keep me interested in the games. But I think there's definitely a lot to learn from offensive line play from all the offensive line units he played on, you know, whether it be the Titans, who made a lot of deep playoff runs with Bruce Matthews and Steve McNair, or, you know, the Rams team who went to the Super Bowl, or the Bears team who went to the Super Bowl. You know, luckily I was fortunate enough to watch a lot of great offensive lines play growing up, and it's something that, you know, I aspire to be, or, you know, try to incorporate in some of my gameplay.
What's been your impression of the defense? And they obviously have a lot of talent coming back. You're brand new, obviously,
Yeah.
but your initial impressions on just seeing that group and all the talent over there.
Yeah, I definitely think they have a lot of talent. I mean, I was very glad to see Apu was going to be lining up on the same team as me instead of a different uniform this year, opposed to the last couple of years.
You
But
face them a lot?
yeah, I faced him the last 2 years at LSU, and you know, he's a good player. Like I said, I'm glad he's in the same color as me now instead of lining up for me across the ball. But you know, there's tons of talented guys on this defense. I think, you know, there's tons of depth. You know, all the guys that, you know, we go out there and face. You know, the linebackers unit is really strong and everything too. So, you know, this defense really gets after it. I mean, I think the defensive coaching staff has a really great playbook in terms of like blitzes and everything like that. As an offensive lineman, a student of the game, you know, they really give us a lot of hard looks to cover in practice, and I think that only helps me. So, you know, so just from the talent as well as the coaching and play calling, I think it's only going to help this offense. It's only going to help me as a player, and I think it's going to be really fun to watch for the fans too.
Grant, you're here for a reason, not just because of lineage, but because they needed you too. And you were looking for a place. The offensive line last year did struggle for a lot of reasons, some of it because of COVID. What have you seen with the group and with you and Jacob, what you've added perhaps to that group?
Well, I think with me and Jacob, I mean, I think whenever you can get two older guys who've had a lot of experience in games, you're going to get, you know, guys with some experience, some maturity, some wisdom. So, you know, I think there's a little bit of a leadership aspect and, you know, level-headed aspect from people who've just played the game so long. But, you know, really the biggest, you know, I don't know if I can say difference because I wasn't here last year, but, you know, I can just feel the energy and charisma that Coach Mateos injects into, you know, these guys' veins every single day, month by month, week to week. You know, especially with a lot of the younger guys and everything, I've seen such a big jump in improvement from a lot of those guys, and I think a lot of it is from just Coach Mateos's coaching style. Just seeing the jump of, you know, leaving all together in April and then coming back in June and seeing, you know, some of the big leaps of improvement just mentally and physically that a lot of these guys have made. I was proud of them.
We've heard a lot about Xavier Newman being very vocal, showing leadership. What have you seen in your time here from him, and how has he perhaps helped you as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great to have Zay on my offensive line. I mean, I consider him a pretty close friend and everything. I've like that our relationship has gotten closer and closer, you know, over the last, you know, 8-9 months that I've been here. I think he's a great leader for this offensive line. I think he's a older brother figure that a lot of the guys, you know, look up to. And you know, I think you hear a lot about his leadership, and it's, you know, not by accident. I think it's because he's the same guy day in and day out. You know, like I said, he's a guy everybody can look up to. You know, he's constantly got a routine, and he stays to that routine. You know, just something that everybody can look up to day in and day out.
Coach Miranda said he's kind of opened up a little bit. He's got trust now more around people around him. Have you noticed that in just a short amount of time that you've been around him?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he seems to be more vocal even than from when I came in and, you know, seeing him in January. So, I mean, I guess that could be him feeling more comfortable or not, but I don't really know a whole lot about how he was before, you know, I got here.